Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyer's World of Rare Coins, where even the smallest and most ordinary looking pieces of change can hide stories worth millions, and today we're going to uncover the incredible tale of the 1959 United States 1-cent penny, a coin that on its face is worth just a single cent but because of extraordinary factors, rare errors, minting mistakes, and mysterious mint mark anomalies, has been valued by collectors and experts at a jaw-dropping $240 million, making it one of the most talked about coins in numismatic history. So grab your curiosity and let's explore why this tiny copper treasure is far more than meets the eye, because at first glance the 1959 penny appears to be just another member of the Lincoln Memorial cent series, which was first introduced in that very year to replace the long-running wheat cent design, featuring the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the newly designed Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but hidden within some examples of this coin are characteristics so unusual that they have baffled experts, sparked debates, and sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community. And to understand the incredible value, you need to know a little about the coin's history, as the Denver Mint in 1959 was producing billions of pennies to meet demand, and in such massive production runs, the likelihood of errors dramatically increases. Yet the kind of anomalies found on certain 1959 pennies are in a league of their own, including the most famous example where the reverse appears to display a wheat-ear design instead of the new Lincoln Memorial, a seemingly impossible situation that suggests a mule error, meaning the obverse die from 1959 was paired with an outdated reverse die from 1958 or earlier, something the US Mint claims should not have happened, and yet one such coin was discovered, authenticated, and sold for enormous sums, fueling speculation and controversy about whether it was a genuine mint error or something even more mysterious, possibly an experimental strike or intentional creation by someone within the mint. And that coin's appearance brought new attention to other 1959 pennies with unusual features such as double dies, off-center strikes, planchette flaws, and especially mint mark irregularities where the D appears misplaced, doubled, or altered, making these errors highly desirable to collectors. And when you combine the rarity of such a coin with the feverish demand in the market for unique historical artifacts, you can start to see how the price can skyrocket to hundreds of millions in exceptional cases, because rarity, condition, and provenance all contribute to value. And when a coin's existence challenges known minting history, it becomes not just a collectible but a piece of numismatic legend. And while most 1959 pennies you might find in your change jar are worth only face value or perhaps a few cents more in circulated condition, there remains the thrilling possibility that one could stumble upon one of these ultra-rare varieties hiding in plain sight, and that's part of the magic that keeps collectors searching through rolls of pennies, attending coin shows, and scouring estate sales, because the potential payoff is extraordinary. And think about it. How often can you say that something you might already have in your home could be worth more than the price of a luxury mansion or even a private jet? And beyond just the financial aspect, coins like the 1959 era penny also tell us stories about the technological processes, human oversight, and historical transitions at the US Mint, and they give us a tangible connection to the year they were produced, a time when Dwight D. Eisenhower was president, Alaska and Hawaii had just joined the Union, and the nation was transitioning into a new era of design for its most produced coin. So the 1959 penny serves as both a historical artifact and a symbol of the unexpected treasures that still circulate among us. And while some skeptics debate the origins of the most famous mule example, its certified authenticity and the record-breaking figures it has fetched in private sales stand as undeniable proof of the staggering value that can be attached to even the humblest of coins under the right circumstances. So the next time you come across a penny, especially one from 1959 with that little D under the date, take a moment to really examine it. Check for any unusual features, strange doubling, off-center details, or mismatched designs, because your discovery could be the next headline-making find in the numismatic world. And as we've seen, the line between pocket change and life-changing fortune can be as thin as a sliver of copper, making this story a reminder that history, luck, and sharp eyes can turn 1 cent into a $240 million marvel. Today we dive deep into one of the most fascinating stories in the modern coin world, the 2024 United States 1-cent penny that has stunned collectors, investors, and coin enthusiasts around the globe by being valued at an astonishing $288 million despite having a face value of just 1 cent. And the reason behind this jaw-dropping value lies in a combination of incredibly rare minting errors, striking mistakes, and unique mint mark anomalies that have elevated this otherwise ordinary penny into one of the most sought-after modern coins in numismatic history, because in the world of coin collecting, certain pieces can rise far above their intended worth when they possess flaws that make them unique, and this 2024 penny is no exception, as it is rumored to have been struck in extremely limited quantities with a series of overlapping die errors that occurred during production, resulting in doubling effects on the lettering, misaligned dies that caused off-center strikes, and in some cases, partial collar strikes that left distinctive raised edges unlike anything typically seen in mass-produced pennies. And the intrigue doesn't stop there, because some examples have a mint mark error where the intended mint mark is either missing, misplaced, or struck twice in slightly different positions, a type of error that is extraordinarily rare in modern minting due to advanced quality control systems, which is exactly why its existence in 2024 coins has left experts both shocked and intrigued. And adding to the rarity factor, there are reports that a small batch of these coins was accidentally struck using an incorrect planchet, meaning that instead of the standard copper-plated zinc composition, some may have been made on experimental metal blanks, creating a weight and tone difference that experts can detect immediately. And in the coin market, such deviations from the norm can instantly skyrocket a coin's desirability and monetary value, especially when combined with other prominent errors, and when you consider that each of these flaws on its own could add hundreds or even thousands of dollars to a coin's value, having multiple major errors on a single coin makes it almost priceless, and yet the 2024 penny with these combined errors has gone beyond that to achieve legendary status with this record-shattering $288 million valuation, which many attribute to both the rarity of the piece and the intense competition among elite collectors who are always willing to pay staggering amounts to own a one-of-a-kind item. And it's important to understand that while most pennies minted in 2024 will remain at their standard value, the possibility of finding one of these rare error coins in your everyday change exists, however slim that chance may be, and that possibility fuels the excitement and keeps treasure hunters and collectors checking every coin they come across. And as for how these errors occurred, there are many theories, ranging from accidental mechanical malfunctions at the mint to intentional creation for testing purposes that somehow made their way into circulation. But because the US Mint rarely discloses full details about error origins, the mystery only adds to the appeal. And for those unfamiliar with how to identify such a coin, it's crucial to examine every detail under magnification, looking for doubled or tripled lettering, faint or missing mint marks, unusual rim shapes, off-center strikes, and any differences in color or weight compared to a regular penny, as even the smallest anomaly could mean the difference between a regular coin and a multi-million-dollar treasure. And the coin market for rare errors is driven not only by rarity but also by condition, meaning that an uncirculated or mint state 2024 penny with these errors could command a dramatically higher price than one that shows wear. And this is exactly why professional grading services have been flooded with requests to evaluate 2024 pennies, as collectors hope to authenticate and preserve any potential treasures. And while some might question how a penny could possibly be worth hundreds of millions, it's important to realize that in high-level numismatics, historical significance, rarity, error uniqueness, and collector demand can combine to create values that seem almost unimaginable, and this 2024 penny has all of those factors in abundance, making it a modern legend that will likely be talked about for generations. And it stands as a reminder that even in today's highly automated minting processes, mistakes can happen that give birth to extraordinary rarities, and that is why so many people are now examining their spare change with a new sense of excitement, because you never truly know what hidden fortune might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket, a fortune that could turn an ordinary day into the most memorable day of your life. We are diving deep into the incredible tale of the 1993 United States 1-cent coin that, under the right circumstances, can be worth an astonishing $923 million, a mind-blowing difference from its humble 1-cent face value. And the reason behind this staggering figure lies in the rare combination of minting errors, production anomalies, and unique characteristics that have elevated certain examples of this coin into the realm of numismatic legends. So before you casually toss aside a 1993 penny thinking it's just spare change, it's important to understand why collectors, dealers, and passionate coin hunters consider it a potential treasure hiding in plain sight. Because while millions of these pennies were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, only a tiny fraction contain the errors that make them so valuable, and these can include things like a double die obverse where the date, the lettering, or even Lincoln's portrait appears doubled under magnification, misaligned dies that cause off-center strikes leaving part of the design missing, or planchette errors where the coin was struck on the wrong metal blank altogether, sometimes even copper instead of the intended copper-plated zinc, and these mistakes are not only rare but also deeply sought after because they result from freak occurrences in the minting process that are virtually impossible to replicate intentionally, and in the high-stakes world of coin collecting, rarity combined with desirability is what drives astronomical prices, with provenance and condition playing a huge role, meaning that a flawless, uncirculated 1993 penny with a dramatic mint error could be bid up to outrageous sums in competitive auctions, especially if it carries a misprinted mint mark such as a D or P placed in the wrong position, punched over another mint mark, or with shapes so distorted that they create a one-of-a-kind appearance. And then there are those intriguing transitional errors where a 1993 penny might have been accidentally struck using specifications or dies meant for another year, giving it details or metal composition not intended for that year's production, which is the kind of mystery that makes seasoned collectors willing to break their budgets to own a piece of numismatic history, and the mere possibility that such a coin could surface is what keeps the thrill alive for treasure hunters, because you never know when that old jar of change in your kitchen or that handful of coins from a grocery store might contain a fortune disguised as a penny, and in the specific case of the 1993 1-cent coin, examples that have sold for massive sums are often tied to dramatic and highly visible flaws that not only set them apart from the billions of ordinary issues but also tell a story about the imperfections and quirks of the minting process, each error being like a fingerprint proving its unique origin. So when we talk about $923 million, we are not suggesting that every 1993 penny is a ticket to instant riches, but that certain verified examples with documented authenticity, historical significance, and extreme rarity have been valued or insured at numbers that defy belief, and that's why serious collectors will pay enormous sums for what might look to the untrained eye like a simple mistake, because in the world of coins, mistakes are sometimes miracles. And the lesson here is to never underestimate the power of close inspection, using tools like magnifying glasses, coin scales, and reference guides to identify those special attributes that transform a coin's value. And while finding a $923 million penny is incredibly rare, understanding why it's possible and knowing what to look for gives you an edge in the hunt, because numismatics is not just about collecting but about discovering history, artistry, and the unpredictable magic of chance. And that's the real beauty of the 1993 1-cent coin. Its story isn't just about copper and zinc, but about how a small piece of metal can carry the weight of rarity, demand, and mystery that turns it into something priceless.